Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to the Keto Mom page. I know I'm late again, and there's no excuse, but we're diving through this book. So as you're tuning in, where are you tuning in from? We're diving through chapter 7. We've learned a ton, and we are going to continue to learn together. So how was your weekend? I'm curious, do you read over the weekend, or do you kind of check out of everything? I normally do. This weekend, I just got home. Our kids were at camp from Thursday till last night. I didn't see them till this morning. I actually just saw them. One of them is still sleeping. One is at volleyball. Two, my littles are here. And so it's so fun to see them this morning since I have not seen them since Thursday. That is why I'm late this morning. But my husband and I went to an event called Upgrade Your Marriage, which was incredible. I'm going to be sharing a lot more about that on my personal page and in my story. So if you're interested, I'll share it on my stories when we do it. He is at an event today called Upgrade Your Human. And so it's about body and your mindset. So I'm super excited to watch him do that. Tomorrow, we're going to do something called Upgrade Your Business. We just have a lot of things going on, and it's been incredible. Why do I tell you all of this? Because I want you to know something. I walk through these books. My hope is to do lives on these books to help you upgrade your perspective, to help you upgrade your thinking, to help you understand that you are like the people you surround yourself with. You are like the people that are in your life, right? Good or bad. And oftentimes you might be going, well, I don't have a choice. You kind of do, right? And so you might be surrounded by people that you're around all the time, but you do have a choice on who you listen to, who you get advice from, the people that you model your life after. That's why we went to this marriage thing. That we were seeking just a higher level people in their marriage that love Jesus and that are business minded. We just were seeking out something that we wanted in our marriage and in our life and in our business. And so we went looking for it. We found it, and we found an incredible community to plug into. And so my hope is that if you don't have people around you right now, that you can tune into this page and hopefully learn to upgrade your mindset. What does that mean? Like, how do I learn to think I get to, not I have to, or I want to show up for my family, therefore I've got to take care of my body so that I can be around longer, right? Or that I can feel better, I can have a better attitude. How am I going to teach my kids if I don't know how to do it, right? And so I truly believe that having ownership in your life and your health and your body starts with your mindset. And if you're not willing to get this right, then guess what? You're going to go through a vicious cycle of life of over and over again, maybe hitting goals, not having the systems and habits in place, then falling off track, and then starting over, and then getting irritated, and then starting, like, in any area of your life, right? Whether it's relationships or physical or relational or financial or spiritual, it all starts with how you look at life and your perspective. So chapter 7 talks about lenses and filters, and Pastor Craig shares a lot of stories. And so I would encourage you to get the book. I love that a lot of you have been messaging me, telling me about what you think of the book. My question is, are you reading it or are you following along? Either one is great. And you don't have to be on the chapter that I'm on. I tend to go through books fast. The book we're going to go through in September, we're going to take a little bit longer. We're going to slow it down because we're going to create vision boards, which I'm super excited about. Where did I put that book? I'll have to look around the house for it. I'll show you the book we're doing in September. So the rest of August, we're going to finish this book, and then I'm just going to go through all of the books that we've gone through since May and give you the highlights at the end of the month. In September, we're going to start creating dreams and visions, mapping it out, and the book is going to help you. It's incredible. So this chapter was basically about the concept of what are you looking at your life through? The lens that you're looking at, right? The lens that you're looking through. So he tells a lot of stories. He says, what if you're looking at the world through a defective lens? It could be your perspective. It could be your environment, but your defective lens. We won't be able to see reality the way that reality actually is. And so he walks through like different stories of how his wife was looking at him and he was like, oh, I'm so sexy. And she's like, you really don't look great. And he took off her new glasses and he was like, she's like, oh, I see you. It's funny and yet perspective of like, we might be looking at life through a defective lens. And it could be the words that people have spoken over us or our environments, our upbringing create this lens of how we look at the world, how we look at our bodies, how we look at our family, right? Is all a matter of perspective, and the things that people have told you create your world. They create your perspective, right? And so he says this, remember, a lie believed as a truth will affect your life as if it were a truth, right? I actually had a great conversation with a friend this morning, and she was talking about how she believes that she's a failure, and she's working on her belief system and where it stemmed from and her past and why she believes that and how to get past that. So we had a great conversation this morning. She believes it because it was from her past. Somebody spoke that over themselves and her. It created a lens of how she looked at herself, and therefore that was her reality because she believed it. It's not true. It's a lie. But you've got to capture the lie. That's what this book is about, and replace it with the truth, right? The book is super powerful. He says, we could say a lens with a distorted view will make the lie seem like it's true. He says, I wonder how often you see what you expect instead of you see what is true. What are you expecting? Do you expect negativity? Do you expect things, oh, that's always going to happen. I'm always going to look this way. It's always me. I never will get, woe is me. If that's your expectation and that's the lens you're looking at through your life, then guess what? You're going to get what you look for, right? It's tough. Sometimes there's a tough love of like, listen, you need to watch the words that are coming out of your mouth. We need to look at the music you're listening to and the things you're watching and the things you're reading and the people you're surrounding yourself with, because you get what you look for. You get what you surround yourself with. And so you need to take ownership of your mindset. So he talks about cognitive bias. He says you create a subject reality in your life. He says there's that construction of your reality, not actually reality, will dictate how you respond and behave to the world. Your reality creates your responsiveness. Do you react or do you respond? Do you have a great perspective on life? And if you don't, let's change it. But guess what? The way you view life and the way you view people, the way you view yourself is going to ultimately create your attitude of like negative or positive. Are you going to have a high EQ? This is something that we coach our team on. How is your emotional quotient? You've got an IQ. Have you guys heard of this? You've got an IQ. Does this make sense of how smart you are? You have a certain AQ. AQ stands for adaptability. How adaptable are you in life? We can talk about these things extensively just in itself by itself. Then you have an EQ, which is going to be your emotional quotient. How do you handle life emotionally? How do you handle things when they come up to you? Do you have a strong emotional quotient? Can you respond when you take a second and have an awareness of what's going on in your life? Or do you react out of instinct? Do you react out of your false reality, right? React versus respond. I actually think I probably need to do a live on just that because that's a whole topic all by itself. So good. He talks about being a control freak. He talks about just life in general. He says, social psychologists have a name for taking control of perceived things. They call it cognitive reframing. It's when we learn to identify and correct irrational thinking. We could say this happens when we have an unbiased or bias. One frame is how we view things. It's a cognitive bias through which we look at and interpret what happens. What frame are we looking at a situation, and are we being a lie, or are we believing a lie or a truth? Experts in the psychotherapeutic world share steps to help you reframe and to take control of your thoughts. So he says, we're going to teach you how to be calm. I want to teach you how to respond versus react in any situation, whether you're looking at yourself, you're going down a negative mindset, anything that happens in your life. We're going to work on responding versus reacting. We're going to work on staying calm, identifying the situation, having an awareness, identifying our automatic thought. And if it's bad, we need to reframe that and put something positive in there. This is a learned process. This is not something you're going to read the book and be done. This is like, I'm going to give you an awareness of what you're thinking. I'm going to give you awareness of your perspective on life, and you're going to have to work on it for a long time until you create a habit of taking a negative or a lie and replacing it with a positive, which is basically plugging into a community that believes in you and you believing in yourself and working on your mindset, right? He says you cannot control what happens to you, but you can control how you frame it, how you react versus respond. And so basically he says to change your thinking is to reframe. It's the reframe principle. Reframing your mind, restoring your perspective. Reframing has to change my thinking, and it will change my life. Change your thinking, change your life. Change your thinking, change your life. I'm going to say it again. Change your thinking, change your life. And that includes your health. If you can't look at yourself with a perspective of like, I can get better, I will get better, I want to get better, I want to be healthier, I am worthy, I'm going to get stronger, I'm going to eat better. You go on and draw a line in the sand and going, listen, I'm going to do this. Whether other people believe in me or not, I believe in myself. And part of it is reframing your thoughts. So, of course, he gives you action steps at the end. He's going to give you hey, here's my cognitive bias. He's going to walk you through being controlling. He's going to walk you through just writing out basic steps to get you to start thinking about mindset. Again, all of the books that we read are on mindset. I would do it every single morning. My hope is to do it by 7:30 East or Central. Clearly, it was not this morning. So for those of you who are at work and you have to tune in later, I am sorry, but listen, I believe in you and you can do this. And I am not better than anybody else. But what I do is I focus on my mindset, and my husband and I do it together. And we focus on our children's mindsets, and not a I have to mentality, but I get to. And if I don't get up in the morning with a definite purpose, if I don't get up in the morning with a good intention and I've got my day set of like reading and working out and moving my body and doing all of the things that I want to do before my kids get up, if I don't own my morning and I'm intentional, then I'm going to let the world own my morning. I'm going to let everybody else own my day, and I'm not willing to do that. So I'm going to talk a lot more and give you some, just go back over some of those books that we read about owning your morning and creating systems and habits and mindset. I'm going to give you the basic, very key principles of all of those books that we've read after this book is done, which we really only have, we don't have a lot left. So we'll probably get through this here in the next week. And then for the rest of August, we will go through just steps, basic action steps to help you on your mindset journey to finish off this year strong. Sound good? So I hope you're loving the book. Continue to tune in. I appreciate you all. I hope this is helpful. I hope it makes sense. You can always ask questions. Otherwise, continue to tune into the page for tips and tricks and ideas on the keto low-carb lifestyle. I appreciate you, and have a great day.